Hello, this is Dr. Mark Miravalle. I'm here in Ireland with Anne, a lay apostle. We're going through Volume 7 entitled Greetings from Heaven. I would like to read you the July 6, 2004 message from St. Therese, the Little Flower, followed by a commentary by Anne. These are the words of the Little Flower, and I quote, "Brothers and sisters in the world, I bring you news from heaven. These graces have been obtained through the years for this time. You must thank souls who have gone before you, whose prayers are being used now. Truly, there is a great storehouse of graces for these days, so be certain to always petition heaven, particularly for conversions. Our goal is simple. We want to bring as many souls as possible to heaven. In order to do that, we must bring as many people as possible to Jesus here on earth. We need conversions. We need souls to turn away from sin and follow the gospel. There's nothing new you are thinking. You are correct. What is new is the compelling nature of the time in which we are working. We have spoken about changes. We have spoken about a final increase in godlessness. Now we must speak about the actual transition and how you will conduct yourselves. Be at peace in everything. That is always your first rule. You are a follower of Jesus Christ, and as such, your eternity is secure. There is nothing that should disturb your peace. It is very important that souls who live for the world, who are comfortable with darkness, see your peaceful, trusting countenance. Anything less will not draw them to Christ, but confirm that there is no reason to follow Christ. Next, you must be concerned with your duties in life. Are you a priest, religious, father, mother, obedient son or daughter? You must live for your duty. Do your work cheerfully. In all of these things you must love. Brothers and sisters, Christ's love must shine from your eyes. Now you do not have Christ's love unless He puts it there for you. He cannot put it there for you unless you give Him the time in silence and prayer. So our next task is really twofold. You must always love like Christ, and in order to do that, you must have scheduled prayer time that includes time in silence. You know that when you spend time in adoration and contemplation of the living Christ, you walk in calm, trusting peace. You find it easier to complete mundane tasks, and love flows easily from you because He has had ample opportunity to fill your soul with divine love. I am giving you specific instructions because in order to be calm during these times of upheaval, you must have sound practices and discipline. If you live simply, observing simple habits, you will have less difficulty. The world can go its way, but my brothers and sisters will simply continue to follow heaven in the beautiful fashion that Therese is outlining. You see, little brothers and sisters, I have a special role in these days. I am to assist you in walking through this time. You can rely on me. Many souls will ask for my help, and they will not be disappointed. Heaven gives me great glory because I was so small on earth. You will follow my way, my dear friends, and nothing will cause you alarm because you understand that all of heaven watches and all of heaven assists you. And your comments.
Well, what's a beautiful concept is stated in the beginning, that the graces have been obtained through the years by the service and commitment of holy souls who have gone before us, and that there's a great storehouse of graces. This is important for us to know because people, by our humanity, tend to limit God. So we should ask constantly and consistently and place no limits upon what God is willing to do for us in our lay apostle service each day. She says the goal hasn't changed. The goal is to bring souls to heaven, get souls to Jesus, prompt conversions, and then really as lay apostles, once those conversions occur, we have to nourish those people along in the early days after their conversion. And this has to be done with great gentleness, kindness, tolerance, no judgmental. There's a risk, someone gets is converted, and then the one who participated says, okay, now walk this way, now let's go. This is how I do it.
Right.
We have to be careful, be so reverent of God's process in each soul. That's how Jesus views it. He's reverent about this process, the beautiful process that's coming. She talks about it transition time. Now, this is a definite call for each apostle. Lack of peace is really a temptation. And when we discern a lack of peace, we have to move swiftly back to Christ and obtain the peace. Peace is what we offer. Now, we have to have it first. They need to see us and say, well, there's financial difficulties. I mean, the people in the Philippines are suffering. The people in China will be suffering for a long time and have been. And what they need to see is calm.
I mean, the little flower is telling us a change is coming, a transition is coming. And then very specifically, she's giving us norms on how to conduct ourselves through that.
That's right.
And she makes that kind of twofold mention about, your rule is first and last and always peace, and then makes it clear that that's not going to happen unless you have scheduled prayer time.
Yeah, she says, trusting. Each day you lose it, you go right back to it. And then she says, how? Now, duties in life. Just comply with your duties cheerfully and honestly. St. Therese is beautiful for reminding us about this. I mean, this is how she did it. This is the whole secret. And when we are conducting ourselves in this quietness and we're completing these mundane tasks, our spirit is free. Mundane tasks are the most joyful exercise for me because the spirit can go where it wants to while this physical work is going on. It's really a lovely way to serve in unity to heaven. Now, the call to silence is a loud call. I mean, they are making this call.
That's right.
We have to have silence. We have to love like Christ. The only way to do that is to schedule prayer.
And again, they specify the particular graces of adoration.
Yeah.
That adoration is really, when possible, a climax of meeting Christ and receiving these graces and leading us to peace. So it's interesting that the little flower is getting very specific on these norms of conduct during this transition time. And she also promises remarkable intercession specifically, that she's been specially appointed for this time to help lay apostles as well.
And she is practical. And she is not asking anything that's beyond the reach of everybody serving wherever they are in ordinary lives. That would be her specialty, really, is the ordinaries, and that's what we are called to.
Right. And as she is known for the little way, it's really a guide to get us through a potential big way of transition, of change, keeping small, keeping our prayer going, duties of state and life with love. And she's repeatedly saying she's been given a high place in heaven in proportion to her smallness on earth. And what does that mean?
Well, she didn't seek to be great in the eyes of people. She sought to be great in her level of service to Jesus in her soul. What she did, I think, remarkably well that we could aspire to is she established a rhythm in her life of service, this rhythm, and that is, rhythm is liberating. Right. Go to bed at the same time, get up at the same time, have discipline and prayer in your life.
Right. So change, peace, stay small. Thanks, Anne.